Hey everyone, it's Michael Dougal. I review nootropics, and during this video today, I'm going to share with you 3 nootropics that will boost your memory. Consider giving these a shot. These 3 nootropics will help your memory get to the next level. The first nootropic is Bacopa Monnieri, which is an adaptogen, meaning it's a supplement you can take to help you better handle stress. But as well, it has a very significant effect on improving your memory, like your short-term memory, your long-term memory, your ability to recall things. It's absolutely magical what it can do. I found that since I've started taking Bacopa Monnieri, I'm taking it twice per day. I really don't need to look for any other nootropics to help me boost my memory because it simply does that. As for this survey over here on the effects of nootropics on memory, this surveyed 400 individuals, and you can see Bacopa ranks as the 4th highest. And I think this is great considering that it's not man-made. This is a naturally occurring nootropic. It's a herb, like I mentioned, so it's relatively safe. And I think for most people, provided that they're not over-consuming it, there's not that many side effects that they should be concerned with. And looking at examine.com, where we can see a nice compilation of studies shown on Bacopa, there were actually 8 studies showing that Bacopa did significantly boost the memory of the subjects that were involved in the study. As well, there's improvements with decreased anxiety, decreased depression or symptoms of depression, and instances of forgetting things. The way that I came across Bacopa Monnieri was actually by accident because I was looking for something to help me fight stress, to help me fight fatigue, and really be productive like all day. But was after I started taking Bacopa, within a few weeks, I could definitely notice my memory was much better. I was recalling people's names better. I would have conversations with people and actually remember the conversation I had with them prior. It's funny because I'll be talking to clients and suddenly I would remember the name of their dog or something completely irrelevant, which is one sign that Bacopa was definitely working, as when I took Bacopa out of my nootropic stack, I could tell my memory pretty much just wasn't as it was before. And I will share with you one of my favorite studies on Bacopa Monnieri, where it was a 6-week trial where they actually took med students. So these are already somewhat intelligent people. They were healthy by all markers, and they gave them Bacopa. And at the end of the study, what happened was they gave these students a number of tests, like a digit span backwards test, a logical memory test as well. And like the study says, it was known to be a measure of immediate recall, and there was a clear improvement with their working memory, as well as their immediate recall of logical material and language comprehension. And again, this is a unique study because they took students that were already intelligent. So this was some really encouraging information for somebody like myself, because my number one concern with nootropics for memory is that the studies are done on people who have some sort of cognitive impairment or people who are dealing with Alzheimer's. Here's the form that I'm personally taking. It's the Synapsa version of Bacopa from Nootropics Depot. Each capsule contains 320 milligrams of Bacopa Monnieri. I'm taking that twice per day. I'm taking it once in the early afternoon, like 2 o'clock, and then again in the later portion of the day, like 6 o'clock. And the reason why I am not taking it in the morning or taking it pre-workout is because it can be somewhat demotivating. It's very often reported that people take Bacopa Monnieri and they've suddenly lost their motivation. They even feel a little bit tired. So I'd much rather avoid something like Bacopa first thing in the morning when I really want to be in execution mode. But when I need something that will pick me up, give me a boost of energy, and of course it has that magical benefit of boosting your memory, that's the reason why I like taking it in the afternoon. Quite honestly though, I don't think that the manufacturer or the type of Bacopa really matters. I've tried the Synapsa, I've tried the Bacognize, I've tried it from different places. They all seem to have that good benefit of making you more alert, helping you fight fatigue, and of course improving your memory. If you were to consume Bacopa fasted or in a fed state, it doesn't really make too much of a difference. I practice intermittent fasting myself, and I really like taking Bacopa during my fast. It can also slightly suppress your appetite to some extent. In the study that I pointed out, the subjects were taking 150 milligrams twice per day. However, I found that if you are working long days like myself, then Bacopa, taking it twice per day, even a dose like 300 milligrams per serving, is really going to boost your productivity. It's no wonder why some of the best nootropic blends out there, like Qualia Mind, like MindLab Pro or Alpha Brain, they all contain Bacopa, and most subjects notice once they take a nootropic blend like that their memory does significantly improve. It's probably due to that one ingredient in Bacopa Monnieri. Moving on to the second nootropic for memory is Phenylpiracetam. It's very different than Bacopa. Both of them do boost your memory, but I would say Phenylpiracetam is not probably the best thing for a student to take, because what's unique about this nootropic is that it is physically stimulating. So I like to think of phenylpiracetam like the master networking supplement because it's going to give you everything. It's going to give you an energy boost. It's going to decrease your anxiety levels. It's going to give you a boost of courage. It really is effective. It's not something you would use every single day because it is strong. It is strong to the point that you can actually have withdrawals if you take it for too many days consecutively. So what I would recommend is if you do choose to take phenylpiracetam, use it on those days where you need a memory boost. I'm not saying take it on a day when you have an exam because that's awfully risky, but maybe for somebody who is getting on stage, you're attending an important meeting or some sort of networking event, that's when phenylpiracetam can be a really good tool. It's also energizing and will really help you when you're sleep deprived. A lot of biohackers really like taking something like modafinil or adrafinil on those days when they're sleep deprived to help them perform like their normal baseline. But that's a really nice way in which you can use phenylpiracetam as well. As a matter of fact, I think this is my favorite nootropic when I am sleep deprived because cognitively, I'm just as sharp, my memory's good, I'm fighting fatigue. During the later portion of the day, I'm not tired or don't really need a nap. So it is really stimulating. With phenylpiracetam, do expect that it can actually keep you up at night. So don't take it too close to bedtime. And the way that it boosts your memory is different than Bacopa. With Bacopa, you need to take it for a couple weeks consecutively. Make sure that you're not missing a day without it in order for you to see the benefits in most cases, whereas phenylpiracetam is more like, you take your phenylpiracetam once in the morning and you're going to get that boost of memory, that nice verbal fluency, especially for those of you who are in conversations like myself. It's a real noticeable benefit. Plus, it doesn't have those bad headaches like you would have with modafinil. So you really want to understand the way in which phenylpiracetam works is that it's stimulating, guys. It kind of feels like an extended release form of caffeine because it gives you that mood boost, it gives you that alertness. You can even feel somewhat euphoric and being overconfident in your capabilities. You can take it either in the powder form or in the capsule form. The way in which I like taking it is I like taking it right under my tongue. So I would usually take something like 100 milligrams, put it under my tongue and leave it there for 30 seconds. It seems to work well for me. And if you're somebody like myself that is very sensitive to stimulants, then I would really recommend that you avoid it in the afternoon altogether. So I'm usually taking it like just about an hour after waking up. When you wake up, you want to avoid stimulants so you can take advantage of that nice natural boost of cortisol levels and then take your stimulants, take your phenylpiracetam. You can mix it with caffeine, but be safe. I would only do that like pre-workout so I can get the benefits of caffeine as far as improving my workout, my athletic performance, my power output. But during the later portion of the day, I would not use caffeine. I would avoid it. You don't really need it. And if you were to take caffeine along with phenylpiracetam, you can be kind of overstimulated to the point where you're too distracted. Some of the most common side effects of taking phenylpiracetam are insomnia, irritability. Some people do feel an uncomfortably high heart rate. But the biggest surprise with phenylpiracetam, honestly, the first time I took it, about 7 hours afterwards, I needed to get up and just go for a run. It is so physically stimulating, like it's hard to contain sometimes, and for that reason, it can be a little bit distracting. So you want to make sure that you have your list of priorities, or at least know what your schedule is for the rest of the day before you ingest your phenylpiracetam. And nootropic number 3 for boosting your memory is piracetam. This is piracetam powder. This and Bacopa are my absolute favorites for improving your memory. Piracetam was the first nootropic that I took about 12 years ago when I was a student getting my business degree. I started taking piracetam. Honestly, I wasn't too sure if it was doing anything, but I did have faith in it. I used it every single day for about 3 months, and when I took it out of my nootropic stack, I could definitely tell that piracetam was in fact boosting my memory. I just couldn't tell. And after several years of taking time on, taking time off, it's clear that piracetam will give you a significant memory boost. Just be mindful though that you do need to take this every single day. You do have to take it with the choline source. So you got to have some faith in piracetam. It's not like phenylpiracetam in that with phenylpiracetam, you take it once and you can feel the effect throughout the whole day. Very unlikely will you feel piracetam working. You have to give it a couple weeks, and although what you can get from it, aside from just the memory boost, is an increase of motivation. You'll have better focus. A lot of people with ADHD really like piracetam, and I find that I have much clearer thinking and even creative thinking. It seems like the best thing for productivity because it allows me to have this tunnel vision to the point that I can remove distractions and really be in alignment with my highest priorities. Piracetam doesn't really have the best reputation as far as it being a nootropic because most of the research done on this nootropic shows that it's effective for elder people or for people who are getting into Alzheimer's, like early Alzheimer's. But when it comes to younger individuals, it's not like Bacopa. With Bacopa, we have research suggesting it's good for healthy young individuals, not really with piracetam. So for that reason, I mean, I don't feel like it gets the attention that it deserves. But piracetam can definitely do things that Bacopa can't, because when it comes to productivity, like I mentioned with Bacopa, you can feel a little bit tired, you can feel a little bit lethargic, so you may want to consider avoiding Bacopa in the morning, but not with piracetam. It's going to make you super productive, whether it's getting better grades, maybe if you're somebody that trades stocks, if you're a real estate agent or you're in sales. Piracetam is like a good all-around fundamental nootropic for your stack. You'll even find that once you start taking piracetam, it's like all the rest of your nootropics start to work a lot better. That's been my experience, and I found that when I mix piracetam with some of the other racetams like aniracetam, they have this nice synergistic effect. Do understand how to take piracetam though. It's a little bit tricky. It's not like the other nootropics that you can just take once and notice them working, or you can take independently. Piracetam, for about 80% of people, will only work when you take it with choline or a choline source. Choline is a nutrient for the brain that's found in egg yolk. It's responsible for a lot of the processes related to cognition, although most people are not getting enough through their diet. So what I would recommend is that you have piracetam along with choline. Some popular forms of choline include choline bitartrate, CDP choline, and alpha GPC. My favorite is alpha GPC. I've talked about it in depth in this video over here. And the way in which I would take piracetam is 1 gram along with 200 milligrams of alpha GPC 2 or 3 times per day. I would say 3 times per day, maybe if you're somebody who works very long hours. You do want to keep in mind that with this nootropic, be really consistent, otherwise it's just a waste of money. It should be about 2 weeks for you to start notice the benefits as far as improved focus and a really improved memory. You're just able to absorb so much more information. Those are my 3 favorite nootropics for memory. Of course, do consult with your doctor before trying anything new when it comes to supplements. Comment below. I want to know what your favorite nootropic is for boosting your memory. Consider subscribing if you got value from this video.